My name is Omar De Loiola Pereria. I'm from Benaulim, and I'm a guitarist, a singer, and also a musical director.
Away from your sun, love, arise from your sleep, until day is dawning, for all those who grieve.
The people in darkness have seen every sign. The Lord of our longing has conquered the night.
What does music mean to me? Music is my meditation. It is my passion. It is my first aid, and it is my long-term treatment.
Osze makadisle Chirvancha mogan podon Zaiti party.
So, in terms of influences, my influences when I was growing up, when I started playing the guitar, there wasn't YouTube. So, my influences were very local. My biggest influences were Remo Fernandez, Dr. Eloy Gomes, who actually, my guitar playing is very heavily influenced by Dr. Eloy Gomes. That's where I get the Latin vibe, so to speak. And of course, Remo had just released his very first album at that time, Going Crazy. So these were big influences for me at that time. But then, as I went along, then I started listening to Manhattan Transfer, especially when I started making arrangements for my choir. I was listening to Manhattan Transfer. The London Symphony Orchestra was very interesting to me. But then, of course, we had the Beatles, we had the Eagles, and all these bands that everyone listens to. I started listening to country music. So my influences came from various places for different kinds of music, because I like to play different kinds of stuff, so not just one type of music. So it was, so my influences were all around, all the music that we could listen to at that time. My favorite song. This is always the hardest one, and it's probably a question I get asked most often, but the hardest to answer, because I don't have one favorite song. I love a lot of different kinds of music. If I am singing my favorite genres, the big bands, swings, I love singing Frank Sinatra songs. But that doesn't mean I don't love singing country. I don't love singing rock and roll. Or I love my Spanish songs, Portuguese songs. having said that, what gives me most satisfaction in performing, which is a slightly different take to the question. I love doing Konkani sacred music with my choir. There is something very special about Konkani sacred music, and we find it particularly satisfying as a choir to perform Konkani hymns, our everyday hymns that we sing in church. So, the musical industry as it stands at the moment and the internet, it's a very interesting new concept. The advantages are that for us as musicians now, our audiences are now worldwide, so that's the potential. But the downside of it is also that more and more people expect to now be entertained for free, which is unsustainable for musicians. I mean, for a lot of us, this is our only source of livelihood. It's not just a hobby while we have a day job. So it is important that we also earn through these online gigs. And it is important for those who ask musicians to put up online shows to realize that musicians need to earn from these gigs as well, and it's not just free entertainment for everyone. Of course, this change in mindset will take some time, but I do hope that happens, because otherwise it would be a hard journey for musicians.
Olá, tu que me sorris, diz-me que teu dentista eu nunca...
Now, the lockdown has been something very, very different to anyone who's alive on this planet, I think. But having said that, as much change as it's brought about, it's also, I think, made us think about our life differently. Personally, the lockdown was a time for me to take a complete break, which I haven't had in years. So the first part of the lockdown was very restful, actually. And then the second part of it, I started going, I picked up my guitar again and I started playing just for my own medication, so to speak. But I got to spend a lot of time with my family, which I haven't done in years again. A lot of time with my little daughter, with my wife, with my parents, and it helped us reconnect again as a family, and that was nice. That was very important, and that was very nice. Regarding projects in the pipeline, I do have a few projects in the pipeline with my choir and with my trio. And there are a few other collaborations that I'm working on, but I hesitate to describe them in detail at the moment because everything is very uncertain given the current situation. But should they go ahead, I'm sure you know about them. finding balance are like two sides of a coin. I don't think they can ever meet. But having said that, we just try our best. I have a very supportive wife, a very patient and tolerant daughter. So we just try to make it work the best we can, because, well, a musician's life is a musician's life. It really isn't very balanced.
Vocês sabem lá que tormento é viver sem esperança.
Advice to Goan artists. I don't particularly feel very qualified to be giving advice. All I do is share personal experience or personal opinions. I don't know how much that counts as advice. But especially given the current situation, I'd say have patience and be positive. We are in a situation that nobody has experienced before. Not us as citizens, not the government, not the authorities. No one has ever gone through this before. So we really don't know how this is going to pan out. My view is we just need to be patient. We just need to be positive, and hope the best for ourselves and for all those around us, and for the society in general. So in the end, I'd like to say a very special thank you to each one of you watching, and a very special thank you to Paul for making this happen, for inviting me to be part of this series. I just wish each of you all the very best. In these rather uncertain times, we all need to band together. So all the very best, and thanks for having me on board.